If you're in the water treatment business, if you work in water treatment and you attend trade shows, industry trade shows, then this video is very important for you. But why? Because if you're still just waiting for someone to walk by your booth at these shows, you've actually already lost before the show has even started. Yes, you have everything perfect. The brochures, the products on display, the lights, everything is clean. But you're making the same old mistake, waiting for someone to just walk by. But that's not how trade shows work today. The show doesn't start when you turn on the lights at your booth. It starts at least 2 or 3 days before, or even weeks before, with a list of people who already know who you are and have a reason to come and talk to you. Because if you just show up hoping for foot traffic, hoping for a good location, I often see people in the water dispenser and water treatment business at these shows who are completely fixated, on getting a good spot, or even those with showrooms. It's in the center. Okay, fine. Obviously location matters, because if you set up where no one walks by, obviously no one will come in. We can all agree on that. But the physical location of your booth at the trade show or of your showroom is actually just one small piece of the overall marketing strategy. There are still people who rely solely on random word of mouth, but in reality, you're just throwing away time and, more importantly, money. Think about it. If you have a professional water dispenser, an osmosis system, a technology that can solve real problems for restaurants, offices, bars, and cafeterias, but if no one knows about it, who's going to stop? People don't stop by chance. They stop because you've already spoken to them, because you've already written to them, because they know you, and so on and so on. So it's because you've generated demand, and you have to generate that demand beforehand. You do it by first building a list of names before the show, and then you follow up with these contacts, including your past clients, for example, and you send an email, to someone who maybe asked for information months ago, but didn't take any action. So they just asked for a quote, but then never really explored the topic of water dispensers. And you run email campaigns that are targeted, aimed at those who work, for example, in the restaurant industry or at families. So depending on the audience you're addressing, you create campaigns to invite them to the show, So you contact the managers of offices, gyms in your area, and if the trade show is happening in that area, that's obviously even better. You don't need complex automations to do all this. You just need a list of names, a well-written email, a clear message, and a simple invitation, Let me give you a real-world example. One of our resellers participated in an industry trade show for the hospitality sector. 3 weeks before, he sent an invitation to various owners, hotel owners, restaurant owners, bed and breakfast owners, And what did he do? He offered a private demo at his booth. So he said, come to my booth and I'll give you a demo, a demonstration of how the water dispenser works, the types of filters you can use, and even how much time and money it can save you. Or even why, if you put this bottle of purified water on the table, your end customers, the restaurant guests, will actually appreciate it, even if it's not one of the usual bottled brands we're used to seeing, So what was the result? The result was that 16 clients came by, 5 of them actually entered into a negotiation, and 2 signed a contract right there at the show. And 1 even asked him for a consultation for a second location. You see, that's the power of a prepared list. So the trade show isn't the place to hope, it's the place to convert. But only if you've done the work beforehand, Because if you haven't done anything beforehand, then it's the place where you hope. So change your mindset. The trade show is where you convert, not where you hope, So if you sell water systems, you have to act like a consultant, and you can't just wait for people to get interested by chance. You have to cultivate that interest beforehand. You have to generate appointments and get the person to show up already prepared to give you their contact information, So if you want all of this, I recommend you take your list of contacts, which you already have, especially all those contacts who may have received quotes but then never followed up on the conversation. You should also run campaigns to acquire these contacts and create specific invitations where you explain exactly why a person should travel, take the car, the train, the tram, or even a plane, and come to your booth. You have to give them specific reasons. This all works even if you have a physical showroom. So now, in the water treatment sector, it's increasingly important to have a physical location, like a showroom where people can touch and see the water dispenser. So if you have a physical showroom, I recommend you use this strategy. So don't just open your doors hoping someone will walk into your showroom. Instead, do all the work to bring in your own flow of customers. This video is coming to an end. If you want to see more videos like this about water treatment, subscribe to the Onnwater YouTube channel, and most importantly, click the notification bell button, because we make a lot of videos. Some might be more interesting and others less so, but some will literally change your life and your career, and you never know which one it will be unless you watch them all. Click that notification bell.